Hello, welcome back. It's been a while since the introduction recording. Now it's time to do some small mods, some small repairs. Let's get to it. Quick little insert here while editing. You will have to bear with me on the very shifting quality of everything in this video. I experimented with different recording methods, and some of them clearly didn't work so well. In the meantime, have settled on a recording method, so after the first bunch of stuff it should remain the same. Thanks for understanding. First up, these reflectors right here. I'm not sure how legal these painted ones are, but either way I don't like them. Thankfully, the previous owner has also supplied me with the original ones. There are some differences, like these don't have any foam on them. I'm not sure which ones are the front and which ones are the rear, but well, I guess we'll find out. They should just screw out as far as I can tell. Looks like the foam ones are in the front. Oh, these have holes in them for bolts. Interesting. Much better. Well, one down. 3 more to go. Well, finished 3 or 4. Now trying to do the last one, and it looks like this is actually meant for the opposite side. It's very unfortunate. Well, I'll have to find a solution for the 4th one, but it's looking better. I already mentioned the color theme in the first video. Primary is obviously the green from the car, and the secondary is orange. At this point, I visited my local MX5 specialist to pick up a few bits and pieces, some of which will show up in later videos, but for now we got ourselves this. Okay, no unplanned repair bit. I was checking out this area near the license plate lights and discovered the previous owner did an absolute hack job with it. So we're gonna fix it. I have some original connectors that I'll put back on, and put some new ones since I kinda broke the plastic. Okay, after screwing around for a little while, I got a new one on. That should be good enough. Okay, not the prettiest of jobs, but it should do what it should be doing. I'll tape this up and let's see if they work. So these are the replacements I got. I'm not sure they go in a specific way. Looks kind of identical. No, if they don't work, you can swap them around. And they work. Nice one. Well, let's put the wiring back and job done. Interesting detail. The foam seal that's supposed to keep water out of here so it stops it from rusting. Yeah, that's kind of done. Okay, back in place, job complete. So originally one of the first things I would have installed are these to have more workspace, but the previous owner already installed them, so there's no need. I would have preferred black ones, but I can replace them if they fail at some point, but for now I'll leave them. It also means that this thing right here has basically become redundant because, well, it doesn't do anything. So I will take it off. Okay, now removed, less clutter. Excellent. I think this piece belongs to the alarm. Definitely getting rid of that, but that'll be a different video. Okay, next up, door bushes. These are the things that keep the door in place, and because this is a convertible, there's no roof, so these actually provide rigidity, and as may be visible, these are old and cracking. So I have some new ones. These are here. Obviously not sponsored. Bought these myself. Okay, let's take out the old ones. Okay, old one removed. The original ones are made from rubber. It's pretty squishy. They go into the door like that. There's not too much play, but well, the new ones slide in. It's a super tight fit. So to install these, we put them at the out slot. Comes with new hardware. Now, as I understand, you're supposed to not do them up fully. Let's use the outline of the original one and make it so there's ever so slightly some movement possible. Like that, I guess. And then you're supposed to close the door a bunch of times until they seat. Well, let's do that now. I guess that'll do. Now we tighten it up. Let's see if it still closes properly. No, that's not quite right. I guess it was not tight enough. Let's try it again. Okay, that seems to have done it. The next side, and that's another one done. The other side is actually quite worn. Hopefully the new ones I do some rattles. In the introduction, I mentioned the nice coilovers on the car. I bought a set of these off eBay. With those, I'll attempt to keep them nice for many years to come. I've chopped off the rear wheels. Time to jack it up. As you can see, it's still in pretty good condition. Oh, I would like to keep them that way. Let's clean the area up a bit and put on the covers. After a bit of a struggle, I managed to get it on. Now it's fully covering the threads, so anytime I want to adjust it in the future, should be no problem, hopefully. One down, 3 more to go. Unfortunately, with recently getting out of the car, the metal cover has come loose. We'll be trying to fix it. It seems it may have been repaired previously. It looks like these were glued on, or maybe this is from the factory like this, I'm not sure, but it does appear to be missing a few of the clips. I got this product in an attempt to fix it, so let's give it a shot. Okay, I cleaned them up a little bit and bent them in an attempt to make them fit. I guess normally you would clean this surface area, but this actually shows me where they need to be placed, so I will not be doing that. Okay, not the prettiest job necessarily, but hopefully it'll hold. Leave it to dry for a while and I'll check back later. Okay, it's been quite a while since the last clip, but it's all glued up. Kinda made unprofessional globes. I hope it does not raise it too far from the plastic, otherwise I'll have to grind it down. But it should be stuck. It's really strong. So, well, I'll put it in the main piece and see how it fits. Well, it's not as strong as I had hoped. One snapped off. It seems to otherwise fit okay. I put all the clips in place. I will put it back in the car for now. I think this is good enough. I might replace it if I feel like it at some point in the future, but yeah, this will do. On to the next thing. Okay, next up, seemingly a very common problem in these, and of course mine also suffers from it. Floppy cup holder cover things. This one works as it should, but this one clearly does not. Seems the issue is with the spring underneath. I don't know if it's missing or just came off. So let's remove the center console and find out and solve the problem. Should be a couple of screws, two in here, one on this side and one on the other side, and there may or may not be one under here. We'll find out. And window switch. It comes out. No. There was a screw here at some point, but there is not anymore. And I guess the shift knob needs to come off. I think that should do it. There we go. Nice. Okay. Let's take a closer look at the cup holders. Also, this is obviously not supposed to be like that. Not sure if you can tell, but you can actually see the ground from here. We'll have to replace that at some point, but I'm not going to worry about that right now. Now, what I'm doing here is basically following along with this video from user Johnny John Dog right here. The problem with these cup holders is that the spring what is on the side tends to come off because the plastic that holds it either breaks or whatever else. For mine, the spring only just came off and putting it back would have solved the issue. However, to prevent this from ever happening again, I'm doing as the other video shows. and screwing in a small screw and a washer, so it is unable to ever pop off again. Okay, for the last portion of this video, I will be upgrading the lighting on the car, bring it up to some modern standards. The previous owner already installed LED bulbs in the rear fog light, and let's see what else, the turn signals and the reverse light, but nothing else. So we have here the low beams and high beams, front turn signals, the third brake light, and the brake lights, and some T10s for the small ones in the headlights. Since currently there's only 2 LEDs for the turn signals, it's not affected, but once I will replace the front ones as well, I will get hyper flashing, and to combat that I bought this one. Hopefully that'll work. Okay, quick cut in between. Seems the internet lied to me, or I guess more accurately, there's probably some differences between markets. I had found that the turn signals were supposed to use this type of bulb. I think it's the 1157. Unfortunately, at least for the European market, this is incorrect, and it is actually using one of these where the little pins are offset from each other. So yeah, I guess that's on me for not checking the original ones. Oh well. Okay, another quick edit. The previous bulbs that I had for the turn signals and the third brake light didn't work whatsoever. I guess that's on me for trying to buy cheap bulbs. So I got some other ones from the same brand as the brake lights. They work fine, so hopefully these also work, and I can round off all the bulbs. Well, all the bulbs are now LED, but there's no hyper flashing. I wonder if the previous owner perhaps has modified the flasher relay already. Oh well. Quick comparison between the new LEDs and the original lights. On the left we can see the new LEDs. The difference is a bit hard to see on the footage, but the LEDs are definitely brighter and slightly more red. As well as the headlights, where the new LEDs significantly make the car look less old, in my opinion. Okay, quick little addition here that I'll probably lump in with the LED portion. These are the heated seat switches. Ever since I got the car, these little lights that are supposed to light up when you push the button, the driver's side has never worked and the passenger side has only ever barely functioned. In an attempt to figure out why, I discovered how they actually work, and well, there's 4 little bulbs in here. These front 2, they seem to be still original, and they're the ones actually lighting up the icons when you turn the lights on. And these big ones over here are the ones that are providing the on-off lights. The previous owner has some weird botched setup going on here previously, where this was taped. I guess the bulbs that were installed didn't really fit, and they clearly didn't work. It was a pain in the ass to get them out. I didn't film any of it. It wasn't really interesting anyway, but I had to destroy them basically to manage to get them out. I did get some new ones, so now we will find out if that will solve the problem or not. So there's bulbs like these. I think the factory original ones are blue, the ones that go in here. Before they were also red ones, so probably very similar like this. And yeah, you just drop them in with a little effort. And then you lock them in place with a little twist. Probably a little easier with 2 hands. Well, after fiddling with it a little bit, I understand why the previous owner didn't or wasn't able to fit them properly. I kind of mangled them as well now, trying to get them in. So I opened up the switch in an attempt to see if I can discover why it doesn't fit, and you can really see how the mechanism works. Pretty interesting. So the lights shine through the passageways into the front side. Neat design. Anyway, it looks like it doesn't fit because the gap in the bulbs here, which is what is supposed to lock itself in there, is too small. So I will attempt to file it down and see if that solves the issue. Okay, after lots of fiddly cutting and stuff, they're now in there. They are secure. So something what should be super easy, twist in, done kind of job, actually required effort, but at least I don't need to weirdly tape up and don't have it working like the previous owner did. So hopefully they do actually work. Let's go and check it. Okay, back in the car. You have to excuse the crappy lighting as it's getting pretty late and dark. Put it back together, plugged it in. Let's see if it actually works. So if you turn on the lights, you get nothing. Well, it seems in an attempt to fix the whole thing, I also kind of broke a portion. Prior to recording the last piece, I tested it out like this, and when I turned on the light, everything goes on, and so did these. And then I put back this piece on it because you cannot see the switches without it, because it actually connects to here to allow the switches to function. And yeah, now they stopped working, so that's very annoying. I guess I'll have to find some new bulbs for these now. To be continued. Just to show off that they do actually work. But yeah, the lighting for the icons no longer functions, so I'll cut to that when I solve that one. I had a quick little look, disassembled the light bulbs. Maybe the impact of putting the thing back together snapped the bulbs. They're very small and I can't really see if anything is wrong with it. However, I think it should normally work if I connect this up, and it does not. And if I do the same with the red ones, it does work. So I'm guessing it is simply broken. Like I said, possibly the impact from snapping back together the housing. So they're just regular bulbs with these like silicone covers. I'll have to order some new ones of these, and then I can put them back in here with a little cover, and that should hopefully solve the problem. And it's a couple days later. I ordered up some new bulbs for this, and I put this in already, and I was correct. They do work like that. So I guess the old ones really somehow broke from the impact of me snapping the switch back together. Well, one is pretty much done. I'll snip off the ends and then repeat it for this one, and I can go back in. Back in the car with the bulbs in place. So now I can see whether or not they work once I turn on the light, and they do. So now the lighting is working, and the lights for when you actually have the seats heated. So another thing to be written off the list. Now I just need to put back the switch. There we go. Okay, real quick addition. I noticed that the bulbs I put in here were clearly brighter than the headlight leveling switch next to it. So I quickly took it apart to take a look, and it is using the same kind of bulb. So I put one in there as well, and now they are pretty even. So yeah, the rest of the stuff is still kind of dim in comparison. I think the bulbs in here are a T5 kind of bulb, so I'll have to see what I can find for that. I think I have some orange T5s that I could put in here, and there's of course the gauge cluster as well, which I think is using T10s. I did get some for that, so I might experiment with this, but that'll be in a different video. Okay, let's finalize the video. We made a bunch of small repairs and some improvements. The lighting upgrade really significantly increases the visibility at night and should also improve the visibility towards other cars. The door bushes really reduce the rattles, which is excellent. The last clip contains a slight spoiler for the next video, because the next video will have some older footage, but well, that's okay. For the next video, I'm removing the awful alarm and upgrading the head unit. So I hope you will join again next time for that one.